This is IGN. After the Concorde disaster, Sony points to Black Myth Wukong's success in a big PlayStation quarter. It's Monday, November 11th, and this is IGN News. Sony's video game business saw impressive growth during the most recent financial quarter, boosted by sales of blockbuster action game Black Myth Wukong that more than made up for the disastrous launch of Concorde. Sony's Game and Network Services division, which includes PlayStation, brought in 1,071.5 billion yen, or approximately $7 billion during the second quarter of the financial year, running from July to September 2024. That's a significant increase of 12% year-on-year, Sony said. Profit tripled to 138.8 billion yen, or approximately $911 million, up a whopping 184% year-on-year. Those positive results were good enough for Sony to raise its financial year forecast for its gaming business. Sony said the boost to revenue came from an increase in sales of non-first-party games, including add-on content like microtransactions, as well as the impact of foreign exchange rates and an increase in sales from network services, mainly from PlayStation Plus. Sony gets a cut of all sales on the PlayStation Store and, of course, generates revenue from sales away from its platforms, such as Steam. Dragging those sales down, however, was the continued fall of PS5 sales. On the operating income side, Sony said it had seen an improvement in hardware profitability. Typically, consoles are sold at a loss, as well as the aforementioned increase in sales of third-party games and network services. Sony sold another 3.8 million PS5 units during the quarter, down 29% compared to the same period last year. The 4-year-old console is now on 65.5 million shipped, with Sony recently admitting the PS5 is in the second half of its life cycle. PlayStation Network has 116 million monthly active users, flat quarter-on-quarter. As reported by VGC, Sony specifically mentioned a new sports title, EA Sports FC 25 launched at the end of September, and an action RPG title from China, Black Myth Wukong, for PlayStation's sales success in the quarter. Black Myth Wukong from Chinese developer Game Science launched on August 19th and sold an eye-watering 18 million copies in just 2 weeks across PC and PS5, reportedly making over $700 million in revenue in the process. That's enough to put Black Myth Wukong up there with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 as one of the fastest-selling games of all time, and is an astonishing return for a game that had a reported budget of $70 million over 6 years of development. Concorde, a live service hero shooter from Sony-owned Firewalk Studios, followed on August 23rd, but flopped spectacularly. Amid disastrously low player numbers, Sony hauled Concorde offline just 2 weeks after launch. It eventually shuttered Firewalk and confirmed Concorde wouldn't return. The Sony-developed Astrobot, which also released during the financial quarter, has sold 1.5 million copies. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest game and console updates, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.